I am getting ready to take a ride on the Lake Superior and Mississippi Railroad up here in Duluth, Minnesota. They have just hooked up their loco for the LS&M Railroad. It's going to be about a 2-hour ride, and I just got here from the Twin Cities. I drove up this morning. Waiting on the LS&M RR. This is August the 19th, and I confused it with my original booking was August the 20th. August the 20th, I could have gotten a freebie ride. They offer veterans free rides on Sundays. I'm a day early. Today is Saturday. But that's all right. It's worth the price of a ticket. So here I am. Can't wait. Can't wait, can't wait. Updates soon once we start rolling. I hope to get on the very back. The open car, whatever this is. We're at the very end of the train. We will be departing in about 5 or 6 minutes. And let me do a quick walk through the train. Oops, excuse me. This thing is incredible. I think I'd rather ride one of these than an Amtrak again. Beautiful cars. And it's all volunteer run. This is the
outside, or do you want to sit inside?
Concessions car.
Outside. Okay, we go.
And let me do a look at that ceiling.
No, you get something else.
Yeah, that's what Adam had. Yeah. Especially with that red salt.
Now this would be a perfect car to be in when it's cold and rainy. Oh, and they even have a onboard toilet. Okay.
Even the bathroom, really?
Oh, it's a very high class. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't let me get in the way.
No
Get
problem.
these good-looking gals here.
I'll take all cameos. Okay, yeah.
Here, let me get out of the way anyway. Don't I?
I try not to film people so they don't get upset.
We're gonna get upset a little filming. We gotta.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're used to it. Yeah, you're used to it. Oh, this is a beautiful car. Luggage space for that long traveler, for the overnight traveler. Yeah, this is.
I always tell people.
This is
in the
amazing.
olden days, this was first class. That's why they got the separation.
That's
right
what I
here.
was thinking. I want to see what it's like to be first
Yeah,
class.
yeah. This
Hey,
is the only time I've ever ridden first class. But it was also, if I could say, it was also a cook car too.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were working on.
When it was belongs to the track department, it had all the seats out, and there were bunk beds in there, and this was.
There we go.
Oh shit!
It still looks like first
It says
class.
Give me 5 minutes. I gotta get a speech. I gotta get my speech down here.
Get it going. All right. Here. Looks like we're moving. Okay, I'm gonna wait my way back to the end of the.
All these windows have to put on.
Wow. Really?
There'll be a brush that comes in and it can hit you in the head.
Wow. So much for the air conditioning. All right. Apparently they closed the windows. I don't think it's air conditioned, is it?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and welcome.
We're getting ready to take off. Oh,
Mississippi excursion train. We call it the river train here also.
Looks like a absolutely beautiful afternoon here. It might be a bit warmer inland, but as we sit around Duluth, cooler by the lake. So welcome aboard. It's our pleasure to host you today as we travel along the estuary of the Saint Louis River. We'll be leaving in just a few short minutes, but before we do, I've got a few safety announcements, and if we have some time, a little info about our trip today also. So, well, like I say here, you are aboard about a 110-year-old passenger rail coach, and we would say the windows, well, at 110 years old, they don't operate like they once did. So we ask you to help us preserve this vintage equipment by observing the notes, and please do not attempt to open them wider than the 12 inches indicated. I know that's our system of air conditioning around here, but off to the right, ladies and gentlemen, is the Duluth Zoo, family-friendly entertainment. This zoo is open daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. They ask that you get there before 4 p.m. The Duluth Zoo, family-friendly entertainment. And you'll see that trestle there, and that whole area there along the was actually severely damaged in a 2012 flood, and as you can tell, it's kind of new. It was restored in the year 2015, and it's now created improvements in habitat and pollution control. Ladies and gentlemen, you hear the engineer blow his whistle as we cross what's Pulaski Street here at roadway crossing. The engineer is required to blow his whistle at each and every railroad crossing. A distinct way to do that is he blows two longs, a short, and a long. This is required by Federal Railroad Administration rules. I know we're a small railroad here, but we got to follow the same rules as the big boys like the everybody Canadian National. So we'll do that engineer blow his whistle at each railroad crossing. Two longs and a short. Oops. Off to the right is that Humber Trail. It's a beautiful area for hiking and biking. Non-motorized traffic only, so if that's your thing, ladies and gentlemen, you like to hike or bike, it's a beautiful area right there. Shaded area. Duluth is blessed with many, many hiking trails in the area. We are riding aboard on a historic piece of railroad here. The original Lake Superior, Mississippi built the first railroad track into Duluth with that first train arriving in Duluth from St. Paul on August 1st, 1870. And that train traveled at the same speed as we are traveling today, ladies and gentlemen, 10 miles per hour. That trip from St. Paul to Duluth took approximately 16.5 hours.
16 hours.
This present railroad is a non-profit using the name of the Lake Superior, Mississippi. All the staff working here are railroad. At Dover Barns, where many ships were built during World War II. One of the most famous ones was the whaleback design. One of the whaleback designs ships are on display in our sister ship across the river in Superior.
Oh, we just did a switch. I didn't even notice that. Wow. Missed the switch.
Was a shipyard that had whaleback cars.
I believe we're off the main line now. You can feel the track is a lot wobblier.
Called Riverside, and that was kind of a company town for the
It's a
back the River Barn shipyards. There were a couple of company towns here that we'll be talking about, but Riverside was a company town.
Not as smooth.
The River Barn shipyards. See some of the restoration work that's being done here, ladies and gentlemen, off to the left.
Wow.
We'll be coming up to an area here called Munger Landing, and this
Whoa.
Munger Landing is in process of being restored, and sediment is being removed from the area, disposed of, and some of the land is being cropped. Munger Landing at the foot of Clyde Avenue here in Smithville was named after the longtime Minnesota State Representative Willard Munger.
Munger.
Gentlemen, but was a part of Duluth that's called Morgan Park. Now, Morgan Park was another one of those planned communities, a company town. It was planned for the workers of Minnesota Steel. Morgan Park is well known in the area as containing houses that are completely built with concrete blocks. And those houses are still in use today, and if you're interested in that kind of architecture, you can take a ride through Morgan Park and continue to see those concrete block construction houses. The community had a school, 2 churches, and a community center, as well as housing that's had several stores and shops. You'll see a spit of land there that's sticking out into the water, ladies and gentlemen. And just up until last year, we couldn't see that this whole area was covered in trees. Now the area is, what it is called Slag Point. And it was made from the slag waste that U.S. Steel plant was producing, part of the byproducts of their plant. And so it filled in with silt over the years, and the trees would build up. And now into this area right here now, it's been cleared. And this is soon to be a park area with fishing piers and boat launches, kayak landings, and in the park area. And some of these areas you can see that are fenced off, but there's going to be some wild rice beds is what they're looking to establish here. A little just history on this U.S. Steel here, ladies and gentlemen. It was in the year 1907 that United States Steel offered to build a steel plant in Duluth as a compromise to kill a proposed state bill for a tonnage tax. In 1915, it was completed and created many jobs in the area. And at the height of World War II, named Solon Clough, he was a judge and an officer at the First National Bank in Superior. Now, Judge Solon Clough died in the year 1910, but before that he sold all but 10 acres in 1904 to a man called Robert Whiteside. Now, Robert Whiteside was a Duluth pioneer who had extensive timber, mineral, and oil holdings around the country. He had a huge house on the island where the family grew wheat, and raised racehorses, cattle, and sheep. They were well known as one of the first islands out here to have electricity via a copper cable across the channel. There was also a racetrack, an orchard, and a boat launch to ferry people to Duluth. The homestead burnt down in the year 1956. And it was in year 2002 that a development company had plans to create a resort community on the island with a hotel and golf course. But that fell through, and in the year 2010, Clough Island was purchased by the Nature Conservancy to preserve the island, the estuary, and is now a stream bank protection area. Clough Island is open for day use, such as hiking or picnicking and wildlife viewing, but as you might imagine, it's accessible only by boat. That big island, Clough Island, I like to take note too, is in the state of Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen. This area off to the left is a section of water we call Spirit Lake. And there is an island up there, with clay banks that extend from the top of the island down to the shoreline there. That is called Spirit Island. The island got its name from an old Indian belief that spirits occupied the island due to an eerie sound made by the wind blowing through the trees.
Well,
and
of course.
There's an Indian legend existing that says a Sioux brave and an Ojibwe maiden eloped to the island against the wishes of their people. Their peoples were enemies with each other, so they were chased by braves from both tribes, but were never found. Only their moccasins were found, and the Indians made the spirits whisk them away. And it was in the year 2010 that the Fond du Lac tribe of Lake Superior, Chippewa purchased the island, and it is now a holy site. The Spirit Island, ladies and gentlemen, off to the left. That pump water from the sediment from the bottom and run it through filters. As you can see, Munger Landing is closed right now. Munger Landing here, was the site of Beach Ridge in the Disney movie Iron Will. Well known to locals here as having a fishing pier that would stick out into the river itself. The Saint Louis River is a popular fishing area. The most popular fish is walleye. Numerous other varieties here, including the muskies, northern pike, smallmouth bass, and panfish. There is a season for a lake sturgeon, but it's a catch and release season only. There's a blue heron going off to the left, ladies and gentlemen, flying right over some of the, oh, there it is, right on one of the buoys there. Long-legged birds that are absolutely beautiful to look at. Blue heron off to the left. And there it goes flying away.
see a large island off to the left, ladies and gentlemen. That's in, I don't know, half mile out there. That is a large island. It's called Clough Island. Clough Island, also known as Right Side or Big Island. Now, the first owner of Clough Island was a man